Now, I am inviting you for a coffee date. I invite you, you come, we have coffee together, we talk. Of course, we want to date. From there, you will never hear from me again. What made it so? Why will you never hear from me again? Why am I going to block you? Now, in this episode, ladies and gentlemen, I want to discuss some of the genuine concerns that have been raised by men and women who went for dates, met for the very first time, and they never saw those people again. They never heard from them. Are you there? If you're new to the show, this is Jenganjero. Welcome to the podcast. You can subscribe if you're new here. If you're a returning subscriber, gonga your like button to kisonga. Now, why were you invited and you never heard from that guy again? Why were you invited and you never heard from that lady again? These are some of the reasons. Number one, there are people who do not understand that in as much as you want to date, nobody is desperate. In fact, if you try to assume that somebody was desperate and by meeting them, you did them a favor, you actually messed up. And there are people who are so proud to a point that you meet with somebody, they compose themselves, they are like, what? This level of arrogance, this level of pride is not something I would want at any other point in life to meet. You become arrogant, you talk the way you want, you brag, you will never hear from that person again. Never. They are either going to block you, they are going to dismiss the charge they had, and at least they are going to deflate that momentum you had together. And at the end of the day, you are messed. Remember, the starting and the entry strategy is very important in a relationship. I have always maintained that inertia determines momentum. Inertia is the force with which we start, and momentum is the force that sustains motion. In other words, how we start determines how we proceed. How we start determines how we end. Are we together? So I want you to be very keen so that you don't have the wrong entry strategy, then end up blaming the devil. You are not bewitched. You have messed up. So listen carefully. Do not brag. Do not be arrogant. Do not be a person who shows off. Do not be either of those. Number two, you did not show some good table manners. You see, table manners does not begin and end on the table. In a relationship, table manners is something that begins from the morning. The morning we are meeting. I want to know, how did you spend your night? Did you have a good night? Did you wake up properly? Not somebody who is calling you exactly. We were meeting at 1 o'clock. Saa saba mchana. We were meeting at 1 o'clock. And now that person did not want to know how you woke up in the morning. That person did not respond to messages. That person just showed up to the venue and wrote a message. Kwani uko wapi? Kwani where are you? You come out as somebody who is insensitive, somebody who does not know how to quote, somebody who does not understand protocol, somebody who does not know that relationship and marriage, for that matter, is so delicate. Delicate that if you don't want to handle it as a fragile component of your life, you are going to leave. Be human. Show some love. You can't die, can you? Can you die? Show some love. Show some care. I want to meet a robot. Saa saba. Kwani uko wapi? Some good table manners includes showing up on time. If you don't show up on time, at least be accompanied by an apology. I was not able to make it on time because of A, B, C, D. Or 1, 2, 3 if you like. You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it. Number 3, you talk too much. You see, there are people who talk too much. Guy, oh, my ex this, he was handsome. Unasema nini? I wish ungeona my ex. You hear those people? And that person is like, well, are you on a date to discuss your ex, or what is the problem? You are on a date and you are discussing very intimate details about your family. Hata nataka kuolewa ndio madhe aache ufala. Imagine. Mimi hata nataka kuolewa. Walisema siwezi olewa. Hii mwaka tunaenda nyumbani watasikia hivyo. That is desperation. 101. Nataka kuolewa, sijui ndio nini, hata majirani wanafikiria ninaibia bwana zao, hata venye you see that talking too much. That yeah, I know you know what I mean. If you talk too much and it's the first date I'm telling you, you will never hear from that person again because you've already exposed. And there are people who don't understand that love is a mystery. Love is a mystery. Class, love is a what? No, class. Love is a what? I'm not hearing you. Love is a what? A mystery. Mystery ni siri. Kiudo yani, kitu imejificha. You want to know one bit at a time. You don't want to know everything at a go. Like, ni hata nisha invest, niko na hii, hata hii nilifutwa jobs, nikaweka yangu, sijui nikafanya nini. You see all those things. You don't say them on the first date. You don't say those things on the first date. Why? Because who the hell doesn't want to know at least a bit of you any day, anytime, depending on so many things, depending on a number of encounters that you will be having. So depending on the encounter, depending on position, depending on mood, depending on the subject matter, depending on what else, name it. With all those considerations, one thing you should be very much aware is that at the end of the day, one day at a time, one thing at a time, one discussion at a time. Those discussions are very important when they have been procedural. We are discussing family today, so the procedure comes because of family. That is the art of communication. Art of communication. So you know how to communicate. We are discussing family today, so we can only go that far. Tomorrow, we are discussing work. We are discussing our jobs. We are discussing this family. We are discussing marriage, depending on how good the relationship and how the conversation will go. So if you outpour everything at a go, that person will not have something else to look forward to the next time. You have killed the mystery. And what did we say that love is? Class, love is a mystery. Another thing, you actually misbehaved. You see, I have met women, and there is this kind of innate, natural, organic, and kind of procedural status quo that the man is the head. And if the man is the head, it is very important. I want you to get me right. Hakuna mtu hawezi lipa date. Hakuna mtu hawezi lipa date. Hakuna mtu hawezi lipa date. But it gives men that joy to pay for the date. If the man calls you for a date and that man does not, alafu anza kusema ati anajiguzaguza mifuko. Guy, kama ule jamaa nilikuwa na washow. Imagine mkule 4,000. Sisemi ni pesa mingi na sio pesa kidogo. Mkule 4,000 alafu mtu anajiguza mifuko hivi. Guy, imepotea. Who doesn't know that's a stupid lie? Who doesn't? Okay, inaweza potea, but who doesn't know? You see it coming. You even see it coming. Okay? You see it coming. You see it coming. So at the end of the day, if you see it coming, what will happen? You will not want to engage in that relationship. You don't want to go with that guy. And again and again, you also don't have trust. You don't have trust. Misbehaving means like even when you are invited and you are a woman, it doesn't lie on the man. You are invited and you are the woman, you're asking for fare. If you cannot feed yourself, can you be able to sustain a family? That man, imagine being given fare and or even fuel after you have shown up for a date is a responsibility that men take with pride. They would want to escort you, showing you basic courtesy. Paying your own fare to go for a relationship date means you are equally committed. Ati ndio nikuje tuma ndio nikuje. No. Misbehave. That guy might send because he want to try chances. But entry strategy, what did we say about it? Very important. Last and not the least, sex was the talk of town. Intimacy is good. In fact, most of you, 100%, if not, I mean, if not the overwhelming majority, I don't know. But one of the reasons why people date these particular types of people is because they were attracted to them. And somebody should not tell you that they were attracted to you otherwise. If they were not hypocrites, if they were not hiding anything, they would tell you they were attracted because of the basic fact that you are sexually appealing to them. If you talk about sex, even the other person wants sex. They're just not saying. They want intimacy. It is just that they don't want to say. They just don't want to come out strongly on the first date. Mtu anakununulia kahawa na mandazi alafu anataka kuchukua room. Are you serious? Are you serious? Mtu anakuchukulia supu alafu anaanza kuuliza ati mnalala wapi? Ati kwako kuko busy. Let us be serious. You will send a very bad vibe that you are not as serious as you appear. Can you add some more? For this and more podcasts, I want you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And there is no watching without liking. See you in the next video.